Hey Bladers, KB here, how's it going? Welcome the best Blader and our other two viewers. Welcome to the stream. How is everybody going? Is it just me or has anybody else noticed on this title screen that there's foghorns and crowds cheering? Crowds cheering I suppose is pretty obvious, but there's a foghorn every now and then. Like the whole ones you get at like stadiums. Try and see if it'll make the noise. Where is it? It's not going to do it now. There it is. It's very faint, but you can hear it. I think it's a neat touch. It kind of brings the game to life a bit more. Okay, we don't have anyone online yet. New Zealand Mapper and Gamer, hello, how are you today? I forgot to ask Mapper and Gamer, which part of New Zealand are you from? Are you from the south or are you from the north? Hell there! Good greeting there, Best Blader. Alright, yes. Oh, so you're from the North Island. You Auckland based? I haven't got many of these avatars set because I'll be honest, I accidentally forgot to activate them yesterday, so there's only a few, but for the live stream that I'll do later, my sort of like late afternoon, early evening one, I'll have all the avatar tracks available then, so I'll be able to pass them out. Jaden, hey, how are you doing? Ah, so you're from Auckland, I'm from Wellington. Alright, let's find all our other new peoples. There's Jaden. We'll send Jaden some credit. Excellent, Jaden. Good to hear. Positive vibes are always good. Gamer Mapper, yes, I'm from the Wellington district. It is freezing down here today. Absolutely freezing. Just went for a walk with my wife, and I will tell you that even decent thermals weren't enough to block out the cold chill. That nasty weather front that's hit the South Island is kind of moving its way up here. The south looks pretty clean now, but it's a shame that the air currents coming from that direction suck. Yes, the Best Blader, you fortunately have the Australian climate, so you are always in the warm areas of the world. Jaden, yes, I'm good. I'm just freezing. I should really not be wearing a t-shirt today. It's probably the wrong clothing to be wearing. It is sunny, but it is very, very cold. I would say it's probably about 10 degrees out there. I think in the last couple of weeks we've transitioned from what was summer, or what was autumn, into full-blown winter. It is absolutely freezing outside. Yep. The Best Blader, you're in the same sort of climate that my brother's always in. When he comes over here, he says that New Zealand is unbearable. He used to live here when he was younger. He grew up with the family in New Zealand, but then he moved over sort of like in his mid-20s. And he says whenever he comes back here, he has to put on jerseys and stuff when he gets off the plane because it's too dang cold. And when it's like it is outside, I don't blame him. I just casted my new piece for my Crusher Magnus yesterday, so I was working on that before I came on here. I think I've put it away now too, which is annoying. But yeah, I've upgraded this guy. So I've gone and made a... I'm going to use polymer clay for the blades, and then I'm going to use epoxy resin for the core. And then once it's done, I can do a video on it. And this will be version 2. So I can suppose if you consider in Beyblades how they have V1, V2, this is my V1, and my V2 is the next one to come. Thank you, Mapper Gamer, for the credit. And the second one. And the third one. Oh wow, very generous today. Oh, it looks like we got one more battle track. Which one was that I did not redeem? Must be one up here. I was having a play around with Surprise and Requiem this morning after having a chat with Paolo yesterday about it. And we did find out that in the app you can't use Surprise and Requiem, or you can use Surprise and Requiem for left and right rotation as well as changing his mode, but if you get the Turbo Surprise in, you can't change the mode, which is kind of stink. So I said to him, try putting the Zeta from the Surprise in on there, and it worked. I think if you were to put 0 on Turbo Spryzen and not have the wall frame, I think you're more likely to be able to get the full customization out of it. I'll have to give it a shot, find out whether it works. Okay, about to go through a car wash in 5 minutes or so. So I suppose it's going to be real loud for you. I'll probably become rather quiet and you won't be able to hear me. Okay, let's try out this theory for Paolo, and then I'll do some challenges. So at the moment with the Zeta driver from the Surprise and Requiem, we get the mode change. So if we change this 0 to just 0, we might be able to get the direction switch. Maybe. Or maybe it's just a layer. Oh no, wait, the direction switch is all related to the layer, so that won't make any difference at all. I'll take it back to the 0 wall frame. There we go, because that won't make a difference. Alright, so that Turbo Spryzen has like the lowest stats out of all the Beyblades I have, so I won't even bother using him. Let's go do the challenges. Alright, so what challenges do we have today? We've still got the stamina one that I didn't complete. We've got the level 2 Odax, another stamina top one, Kanox battle, and a level 4 Beyblade. Let's try the last one. 6,400. If we win this, we should get a nice payout. Oh dear. So it's only going to give us... It's only going to give us 2 of them. Oh no, we've got Kelazar, Phantasmus, Rockdivore, Surprise and Requiem. Oh no, we've got all of them. Alright, time to choose. I'm going to use Surprise and Requiem for this challenge. Turbo Spryzen is a good bay in real life. Yeah, it's pretty tough. So is the Revive or Perfect Phoenix. I've got both of those, and I tried putting them up against each other in one of my videos, and it basically, the battle was just 1 for 1 the whole time. You virtually couldn't get a decided winner. In the end, it was a close win. I think Spryzen got the win in the end of the video, but it was pretty tough going. Like, every battle was 1 for 1. Neither of them would burst. So it's just a whole lot of survivor finishes at the end. Alright, let's try and take this Blast Genius down. He's a level 3, so it shouldn't be too hard. I've got mode switching, so that's going to be an advantage for me. Have you guys seen my neat little subscriber flash? I couldn't get it going yesterday when Jaden came to join us, but this is what it's supposed to do if I get a new subscriber. I meant to get that notification. Which is kind of neat. I found that on a, I watched a video and it showed me how to set it up, so I was like, oh cool. Now it'll actually look official and, you know, professional when I get subs. Oh, this is Jumbo Jormentor. Ah. Yeah, that is a pretty dumb name. But I think it's got Blast Genius's driver on it. Alright, I'm gonna hit you for 6. Let's take you out. Ah! Not enough to burst him. That wasn't enough either. Very similar. Suppose unless you were looking at them head on, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I'm gonna try and go right spin attack. Alright, here we go, here we go. Let's get these orbs and do some damage. I am damaging him, but I'm not getting the orbs. Ah yeah, that's Blast Genius. I mean, Jormentor, I can tell from the layer now. When it goes in for the avatar attack, it looks very, very Jormentor-like. Alright, and let's hope we can hit him. I don't even think this will work for either of us. Have any of you guys watched any of the Beyblade Rise or GT series episodes? Have you seen the episode where Dante or Drum versus the Achilles? That was a bollocks battle when he was oh no, not, oh sorry, I got it wrong. It's meant to be Dante or Drum versus Delta versus the Achilles, and then the yeah, Union Achilles, and then frickin' Arthur comes in and cuts them off halfway. I was like, what? And then he like shoots Union Achilles out of the stadium, and then he bursts Delta and goes, "Ah, oh, your Beyblades suck." Like, hey, you weren't even allowed to come into the battle. That's cheating. I'm watching it in Japanese at the moment because here in New Zealand, our streaming service is slow. TV on Z on Demand is miles behind, and yeah, the only way you can watch it is in Japanese, so I've been watching it through GoGo Anime. I even blinked at the moment when Arthur ran in from the side. I looked away for 2 seconds, and then as soon as I looked up, Diabolos and Union Achilles were basically out of the stadium, and there's this random dude standing there. I'm like, what the heck? And we win. This Beyblade seems way overpowered though, and he seems to have like a dark resonance or dark turbo. I suppose you can't call it a gold turbo because it's black, but it's weird. Like his Beyblade goes black, and then it basically destroys everything with an instant burst finish. I was like, wow, that is way too overpowered. Has anyone watched any of the Sparking episodes yet? I watched episode 1. I don't know if GoGo Anime has the full episode list yet. Gold, Dark, Superior, Rainbow. Wow, that's a whole lot of different turbos. Beyblade Hunter, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. I stuffed that one up. Okay, so you're up to episode 3. Are you watching it on a online site or through YouTube? Darn it, I missed. Okay. Is that through Japanese YouTube? And another win. I am carving these guys apart with Spriggan. Spryzen. Because this is Hasbro, it's Spryzen. Hey viewer, welcome to the live stream. When you search up episodes, you should find it. Oh, okay. I remember when they brought out GT, or before GT came out, they're all like, you know, you won't be able to watch this season unless you watch it on YouTube and in Japanese, and that's the only place you'll ever find it. And then, before you know it, GoGo Anime has it, all these other websites have it, and then Hasbro, or should I say Funimation, or someone like that adapts it, and there you go, it's in English. Jaden Pratt says, what's your favorite Beyblade? Favorite Beyblade? That's a tough one. Usually I say Valtryek, but that's a little bit too cliche. Everybody likes Valtryek. I would say favorite Beyblade would be... Oh yeah, favorite Beyblade is Shining Armaterios. It's a really hard Beyblade to burst, and if I could get a level chip on it, it would never burst. Oh, he is... I was gonna say, he is so screwed, and I just gave him a gentle tap at the end, and that was the end of him. Wrecked him. It's a shame I didn't record that. That was a beautiful, beautiful slaughter. Yeah, I'd say Shining Armaterios is probably my favorite, followed by Rockdivore, and then Valtryek, and then Cabas. Thank you, New Zealand Mapper and Gamer. Yeah, I got one of the limited edition Shining Armaterioses that came in the Japanese Battle Zero set. I'll see if I can dig it out of one of my bay boxes and I'll show you. I got quite a few of these bay boxes. I've got one that's dedicated to Hasbro and one that's dedicated to... I've got multiples dedicated to Hasbro and one of them that's only Takara Tomy. So this is the Shining Armaterios. It's got little fins off the side of it. This one's rare. Like, this one you could only get through the Beyblade game. I think you can get it through Portal O, which is on eBay, but those guys charge an arm and a leg for this Beyblade. So it's got that cool layer. It's got a blue 3-disc and then a destroy dash. So this thing is really hard to burst. It's a very, very difficult bay to burst. I don't think anything's ever bursted it, and the only sort of like closeness to a burst was about one click on the energy layer, and nothing else was able to take it down. This one here is another rare one. I found this one on Trade Me in New Zealand. This is Evil God Armaterios. This was a WBBA store exclusive, so it's got really sharp teeth on it, but yeah, I did a review video on it, and from what I learnt for the video, the teeth on this driver, or the teeth on this Beyblade, actually break off because they're really sharp. So they're a lot like the Turbo Spryzen one. So if you use it too much in battle, the teeth actually crack, they break off, and then the Beyblade bursts real easy. It's a shame that it didn't have a dash driver though, because that would have made it harder to burst. Best Blader, yeah, that is a very rare one. The Shining one or Evil God? Yeah, Evil God. Yeah, that one's real tough. Like, I found it on Trade Me, and I wasn't really after this at first. I actually wanted the Salamander. There was a Salamander that came with it, and I was like, oh yay, the Takara Tomy Salamander. So I jumped at the opportunity, and the Evil God was with it. So this was the Salamander I was trying to get. So I was trying to get the Hell Salamander, because I had a Hasbro one, which sucked, and I had a knockoff clone one, and that was garbage too. So I thought I better get a Takara Tomy one, and yeah, so I got this neat Takara Tomy one. Although, good news for you guys, very good news. Once customs is open in New Zealand, I have actually just acquired a very, very large haul of Generation 1 Beyblades, which I'm super excited about. Because I only have two, I think I got three Generation 1s, but they're G Revolutions. Yeah. I got 3 Generation 1s, so I got Gaia Dragoon, Dranza G, and Dragoon G. And there's this haul that I've got. The lady said there's a massive box of stuff. As soon as I saw it, I just jumped on it. I was not going to let the opportunity slide, because I knew if someone else saw it before me, I was going to lose it. So I've got this massive haul. I'll do an unboxing video of it when I actually get it and show you guys how much is in the box, because there is a lot of stuff. So I'm really pumped about it. Super excited. There's Ori Kulkum. Let's try Rocktavor R3. I doesn't like the series as much, but it isn't that bad. Oh, you didn't like the Gen 1 series? Yeah, the acting, the voice acting in it was a little off, eh? It seemed really slow and kind of computerized in a way. Especially when you heard like Tyson and stuff talk, they're like, hey, come back here! Sounded like everyone was always miles away, or like they were a bit slow. I never really got into the Series 1. I started Beyblades partway into the Metal series. And then I think, no, lies. I did get into, I was playing with the first gen Beyblades, but that was, I think they were clone ones. Because in 2000, when Beyblades first appeared, there was this market thing that opened up in Queensgate, and this Asia store there set up like this random pop-up shop in the middle of the mall, and they were selling off these spinning top things, and we had no idea what they were. But then they told us you could battle with them. We were like, oh, that's cool. So Mum got a whole lot of those and stuck them in our stockings. And then, because this was around a Christmas, I think it was 2000 Christmas or 99 Christmas. And then when we got our stockings the next morning, we found the Beyblade things in it. And Mum was like, oh, I got these from the mall. So me and my brother played with them, and we were like, oh, these are so cool. And then Mum was, we got some extra Christmas cash. So on Boxing Day, we went back down to the mall, and me and my brother got a whole lot more of them. We didn't really know much about Beyblades or what the heck they were, and so we played with them for a few months, and then we got bored of them, and then I regrettably sold off my collection. I think they were all clones anyway, but yeah, I was a bit disappointed. And then I kind of walked away from Beyblades. I started getting back into it when the Metal series came out. Partway through it was probably in Metal Fusion, I think I started getting into it. And then I met my now wife. I got her into Beyblades. We started playing with the Metal Fight ones. Then we started going to like secondhand stores and trying to hunt down little rare collections. We got a whole lot of clone ones. And then, of course, Beyblade Burst came out, and I basically jumped on it, because by that time I'd readapted my interest in Beyblades. I'm going in a big W to buy a Bay. Big W? Is that like a shop? Yes, the Hasbro Burst. I got into the Hasbro Burst because they didn't really have any Takara Tomys over here. I've tried okay, your Walmart. Cool! If you get a Bay, let me know what it is. It'd be cool to see it. I suppose I can't see it because it's on a live stream, but I suppose you can always tell me in the next live. So let me know what one you got. At one point I actually went to the warehouse here, because our warehouse is kind of like your Walmart. Sort of like Kmart, but different. And I was like, oh, you know, you guys have got the Takara Tomy Transformer toys. Why didn't you guys import the Beyblade Takara Tomys? Because Beyblade's super popular, and if you got the Takara Tomy ones in, I think they would sell really well. And they were like, oh, well, we'll mention it to our purchasing team and see what they think. But never heard back, and never seen any Takara Tomy Bays on the shelf, so that is a shame. Walmart in Australia. Yeah, that would... I think we've only got... We have Kmart. That's all we've got. As far as it goes as a Walmart, we have Kmart. And Kmart sucks for Beyblades. Like, we've got a Kmart in an area called Porirua here in Wellington, and they used to be good for Beyblades, and then they stopped producing them in the Kmart. And then if you did find any, it was old seasons, ones that you already had. And then a new Kmart opened up just down the road from where I live, and I was like, oh sweet, maybe they have Beyblades. So I went down and checked them out. At first they did, and then the sort of like stocking guys and the shift managers stopped ordering in Beyblades, and now the only thing you find in there is Bakugan. I'm like, this is disappointing. Where's all your Beyblades? You guys are like 2 seasons behind in here. I'm running circles around this Oricolcum. That is a cool avatar though. Like a giant explosion right from the middle. But he ain't gonna survive me. need to stop him from winning this. Ha ha ha. Survivor finish. New Zealand mapper and gamer, yeah. The best blader. I wonder how Hasbro is going to screw up sparking. Yeah, that's a hard one to say. I mean, hypersphere wasn't so bad. I mean, I've seen a whole lot of chats on different Facebook groups and on WBBO where people are like, oh, you know, Hasbro sucks. Like, they take a Beyblade line and they ruin it and they trash the gimmicks and stuff. Hey viewer, welcome to the stream. But I think, oh, and also people like, they're not anime accurate. But as far as the GT line goes between Hasbro and Takara Tomy, I think Hasbro was actually the one that was more anime accurate. Of course they didn't have the parts, but with the hypersphere line, the Beyblades actually did what they did in the show. They ran up the side of the stadium walls, they did drop-ins, whereas Takara Tomy, their Beyblades did exactly what they've always done, which is just spin in the middle of a stadium, and they didn't release any unique stadiums. And so I was like, well, you know, that's kind of sucks, because Hasbro actually have obviously had their marketing team and stuff watch some of the Beyblade episodes and gone, okay, so the stadiums are like this, the Beyblades jump out of the stadiums, we need to replicate that. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Takara Tomy Beyblades are cool. It's just a shame they don't have more ingenious stadiums and, you know, their Beyblades don't jump up walls and stuff. But for the sparking one, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, from what I know in the past, Hasbro did well with the metal fight. Yeah, life-size stadium. New Zealand mapper and gamer says, here the Rise bays are here before newer turbo bays, which I was kind of disappointed, but the only time I've seen newer bays there were in Kmart. They would make millions from it. Yes they would. Yeah, Mapper and Gamer, you are right about that, because I started seeing Hypersphere Beyblades in the store before New Zealand stores had even finished with Turbo. Before the whole lockdown thing took place, I actually went into the warehouse and I found Turbo Spryzen. And I was like, what the heck's a Turbo Spryzen doing out on the shelves now when we're halfway through Beyblade Burst Rise? Which means that Turbo Valtryek hasn't even shown up on the shelves yet. So Hasbro Australia is way behind. Yeah, the best blader, as you can imagine, our sort of like Beyblade line that New Zealand has access to is Hasbro's, and Hasbro Australia is where we get our products from, and we are miles behind on the Beyblade series, and it's real confused and messed up. You got Turbo products, Slingshot products, which is kind of the same thing, and then you got Hypersphere on the same shelf. You like pick a season. Or are you supposed to be done with the Turbo one? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that the Turbo ones are still coming out so that we can get the Turbo Beyblades. I mean, because I always wanted to get the Turbo Spryzen, so I got the Turbo Spryzen from Hasbro, but now I want to get the Turbo Valtryek, because I have the TT version, but I want to have the Hasbro version as well. The best blader, well, I only found one Turbo Valtryek and never saw one again. Yeah, that seems to be the case. There's a lot of mainstream Beyblades that are not showing up on the shelves, and they're the ones that everyone wants, and they keep giving you the ones you don't want. And you're like, well, where's all the ones I want? Where's all the main line? Like, from the Evolution line, I never saw Blast Genius. I saw one Bolkish, and then my friends got really agitated that I found a Bolkish because they're like, "Oh, I wanted a Bolkish," but it's super, super rare. And you go into some shops and they have them, and others you don't. New Zealand Mapper Gamer, I seriously don't get it why New Zealand have Rise Bays early than Turbo Bays, and TT isn't in New Zealand. Yeah, it's weird, eh? The Turbo Bays come out like really slow, and then you end up getting the Rise Bays at the same time as the Turbo Bays, and so then you're like, what's going on? Like, you guys need to finish one and start the other instead of having two at the same time. It is a shame that we don't have a Takara Tomy importer in New Zealand, but I don't think the Beyblade scene is big enough to actually profit from it, which was a real bummer. Because at one point I was sitting there thinking, hey, you know what? I should like import Takara Tomy Beyblades and try and sell them here. But I don't think I'd make any profit because there's not really a big scene for Beyblades, which is a real shame. Because I know it's big in Australia, it's big in Japan, it's huge in America and Canada, and then you got New Zealand, and we're just kind of like, nah, it's cool, but we're not going to partake. Haha, the car wash. Alright, let's see if I can beat this challenge. So that's a Legends Spryzen. And it looks like it has Garuda's weight disc combo on it. But it is doing a lot of damage to me for a level 3. Perfect. Excellent. Hit him good. Looks like we got another viewer. Hello, viewer. Welcome to the stream. I can see you there. The Best Blader, did you get any Metal Fight Beyblades when Hasbro was doing the Metal Saga? Ah, okay. I was gonna say, I wonder how well they did with those, because I'm sure they would have made them out of metal. There's no way. I'm sure that Hasbro wouldn't have gone, hey, let's make them out of plastic while the series is called Metal Fight. I only joined in the Burst Season 1. Okay. Ah, okay, so you didn't come until later. New Zealand Mapper and Gamer. Before lockdown, I was begging the warehouse or Kmart have Turbo Valtryek, but now I'm really disappointed and sad. Yeah, I was hoping that they'd have Turbo Valtryek. I did see the Turbo Cabeus was on the shelf. I was contemplating buying it at the same time that I got Turbo Spryzen, and I was like, I don't know. So I think once the whole barrier lockdown thingy lifts and we can go back to the shops, I'm going to rush back to the warehouse and hope that Cabeus is still there. The Best Blader, so they did turn them into plastic. Did Hasbro make the Metal Fights out of plastic? Oh, that's just dumb. What's the point of having a Metal Fight series and calling it Beyblade Metal Fight and then making them out of plastic? That's like a complete compromise of what the whole thing's about. That one I can justify people's rage. Like, if someone was like, Takara Tomy doesn't make them out of plastic, why do you make them out of plastic? That I get. Because I've got a few when I really didn't know what I was looking at and didn't know much about Beyblade parts during the Metal Saga, I did pick up a few of the Hasbro ones off the shelf, and those ones I did get were actually metal, thankfully. I would have been really ticked if they had been plastic. Burst finish! New Zealand Mapper Gamer, what is your favourite Turbo Bay? Turbo Bay, Wonder Veltriac. Definitely Wonder Veltriac. I'd say it's probably my favourite. I don't think Wonder Veltriac is actually well received because a lot of people don't like it, and they're all like, oh, it's a stupid Beyblade. And I'm like, yeah, it is a bit erratic, it does have way too much power, but I suppose if you get the launch angle right, it goes well. In my opinion, I think it's all down to the launch angle. Depending on how you launch the Beyblade, it will determine how well it behaves. Like the Wonder Veltriac, if you get a good angle, it rips through the stadium. Turbo Veltriac everywhere in Australia. Oh, what? Darn you Australians. You guys have all the fun. Paolo, hey man, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. I have my girlfriend hunt me the hypersphere vertical drop set for my first Hasbro Bays, but the lockdown unfortunately started. Have you seen it in stores? Yes, I have. I think they're scarce in the warehouse, but I know that they're in farmers. I think you can get it from a place, if you can't find it in stores, I think you can get it from Mighty Ape as well. I was contemplating getting a vertical drop stadium myself, but when I ended up with the orange one, I was kind of not sure whether it was worth it. Because in the end, I'd just be getting it for I'd be getting it for the stadium, but I already have Bushin Ashindra and Ace Dragon, so I'm trying to justify the purpose, or justify the need for the purchase. Stupid hay fever. New Zealand Mapper Gamer, Takara Tomy Guys Fafnir was really cool, but Hasbro made Fafnir F4, no rubber, and I was triggered. Yeah, Fafnir F4 is actually, or Wizard Fafnir is actually really trash anyway. I find that the stamina on it is garbage. Not only does it not have a rubber, so it can't absorb any impacts or spin steel, it also has virtually no stamina, and it dies so fast. Its spin speed is terrible. But then again, Zone Luinor is just as trash. Like the Hasbro one has, it's a Luinor. It's supposed to hit like a hammer. But when you launch it into the stadium, it cuts out and loses all its steam, and I'm just like, this is pathetic. It's a Zone Luinor. I mean, even Nightmare Luinor had more energy than Zone Luinor. Paolo says, Judgment Joker 2, no rubber. Oh yeah, that's not a surprise. I bought the Takara Tomy one for that reason. Haha, smart move. I will give it to Takara Tomy. Some of their Beyblades do look cooler. I just wish that their Beyblades were able to kind of jump or do some cool maneuvers like they do in the anime. Then if Takara Tomy did that, I would definitely just buy Takara Tomy and I wouldn't get any Hasbro Bays. I just like the fact that Beyblades jump around all over the place and you can do drop-in attacks and stuff. That's what sold me. Obviously pricey, but worth it. Yes. Like for example, if I go into my Beyblade box here, I won that battle. Woohoo! If I go into my Beyblade box, I have. So when it comes down to the coolness look, there is Slash Valkyrie from Takara Tomy's line. It's a cool looking bay. Tough but easy to burst. And then of course you got Sword Valtriac from Hasbro. I've changed the disc out for 6 Vortex because it performs better. I mean, but that's the power driver. It's sloped. And then you've got the power driver on Takara Tomy, which is not sloped. If Takara Tomy had a bit more sort of like dipping or angle on their drivers so they could do cool maneuvers, then I'd probably have only stuck with them. But because these just sit in the stadium and run around like they normally do, I was like, isn't the whole purpose of Rise that the Beyblades are supposed to like jump into the air and come down for dive attacks, and they don't do it. The other thing that was disappointing about this one though, the Slash Valkyrie, is that this driver, according to what I have read, is supposed to compress and make it harder to burst the Beyblade. But what I found is it lands in the stadium, compresses, and then lets go. And I'm like, well, what's the point? The gimmick's completely useless, because the Beyblade's going to burst whatever you do. The gimmick's terrible, and then you've got things like Arc Bolkesh with the burst lock so that you hit the rubber and it jams the Beyblade and it can't burst, and then you've got Heaven Pegasus with the lock reverse, and I'm like, well, why the heck is why is Slash Valkyrie so trash? Oh, is that a fake Slash Valkyrie? Too slow. Hey viewers, welcome back, or welcome if you've just arrived. Wow, I am trashing these challenges. That's another one beaten. See? The best blader, there. Flugel, it's on its way to level 6. That's unusual. That shouldn't really be doing that, should it? Paolo, wish we had Hasbro here in the Philippines too. Beyblades here have crazy demand that we go to malls before opening and run to the toy stores like a race. And yes, there's some pushing sometimes. The best blader, thumbs up. Jaden Pratt, how many bays do you have? Oh, how many do I have? My Beyblade count last time I did it, I think, was somewhere between 55 and 60 total, but that's probably gone up now with the hypersphere line. New Zealand Gamer and Mapper, Judgment Joker has turned bulky, Dusk Bulkish as wall. Why Hasbro doesn't have the frame plus Hasbro is making Harmony Pegasus and Dusk Bulkish no lock back. Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, they did Evolution fine. Why the heck did they change it up in Hypersphere? Like, they took away all the gimmicky stuff. I get the feeling that maybe they took away all the frames and stuff for Hypersphere because they were concerned that the Beyblades were actually going to scrape the wall. Because I have actually noted that. I put a frame on one of my Hypersphere Beyblades and it basically grinded the stadium walls and it couldn't ride up the wall. So there's a chance that they took all those frames and stuff off to benefit that. But as far as the layers, I don't know why they modified those. They could have left the locking systems in it. It doesn't go further. Yeah, it's nearly been an hour. Oh yes, it nearly has. Time goes by when you are talking Beyblades. This Beyblade's cool though. This was one of the cooler hypersphere Beyblades, Ruder. It's a good balance type. Alright, I suppose I've got time for one more challenge. Of course, once I reach the end of this challenge, that'll be the 12 o'clock live stream done. But of course, I'll be back later, guys, around the 5 o'clock point. No compatible Beyblade tops. What do you think Ruder is? Okay, so it's not going to let us do that one. What about Odax? What? See, Ruder's right there, and he's a balance type, and it's like, you don't have the required Beyblade. Yeah I do. It's sitting right there. Alright, let's use... Oh, decisions. Battle or challenge? Paolo, the new sparking Saturn has a driver looking like a hypersphere one. Haha. It looks a lot like Emperor Fornius' driver. But it's free spinning. Crud. Hang on, Mapper and Gamer, I'll battle you again. I'll set up another battle. My mouse was misbehaving there, and it wouldn't let me select a bay. I'll try this from my side. Here we go! Alright, let's go somewhere. Let's go here. Resolute Titan, are you in the chat? Yeah, but it probably won't move like one. Yeah, possibly not. Ah, very nice Mapper Gamer. That's a very, very classy looking Lunar. You must have got the dark crystal one. Definitely the hypersphere line doesn't seem to have much stamina from what I've seen. Yeah, the stamina is really lacking on them. Especially with the Wizard Fafnir. That one's terrible. If you watch any of the videos I do with Wizard Fafnir in it, it doesn't last at all. Like, you can burst it if you get a good hit in, which is sad, because it means it's pretty garbage. But, it doesn't have any stamina either. It's easily beaten. Yeah, I think that's the selling point for the Hasbro one. Takara Tomy's good for the competitive side, but if you want to get like the Beyblade anime action sort of going on, it's better to have the hypersphere line for that. Good life after death. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much. Jaden Pratt. At the moment, I do, yes. With the lockdown period. I do 2 videos a day, more or less, just so I can communicate with most of the world. Because I think at this particular point now, a lot of the people who probably watch my channel, some of them are still sleeping. And others are already active. So it's more to give the whole world a bit of time. Once the lockdown period goes back to normal, though, I'll probably end up just doing a live stream once a day. Which will probably be on a Saturday. Most of the other days, I think, will be normal video days. Because normally my video schedule is, I'll do a video upload on a Tuesday and a video upload on a Thursday. And Saturday used to be my live stream day. So that will return to be my live stream day once normal life resumes. This is gonna hurt. Oh, there's a lot of battle orbs on this map. Too late. Paolo, funny enough, the TT Wizard Fafnir bursts a lot too. Yeah, well, then it means in the anime they're talking it up and making it look cool, but it's really not that good. Oh, here we go, Mapper and Gamer. Show me what you got. I think you trashed me. Yep, you win. Well done. Okay, I'll take up our challenge from Resolute Titan if it still lets me. And then I think our stream will be done. They better not ruin Super King. Yeah, we'll soon know whether Super King Fafnir sucks or not. I think as for the Super King line, I'm going to try and get all the Super King Beyblades. I've been behind on most of the other seasons because I was too far behind to act. But thanks to Paolo here, I'm already well on my way with most of them. And hopefully I'll be able to keep up with the rest of it. Me and Paolo are probably going to tag team on orders, I think, so that both of us can get the Beyblades in from overseas at the same time. But the parts it has is really competitive. Ratchet and Rise are used a lot in tournaments. It's just the layer that sucks. Okay, I'll try again, Resolute Titan. Only if you verse left spins. What times? For my live streams, I do live stream at the moment during the lockdown period. I'll do a live stream at 12 PM New Zealand, which is 10 AM Australia, I think. And then 5 PM New Zealand, which I think is about 3 PM Australia. When it goes back to normal time and I come out of lockdown, my live stream on a Saturday will probably be about 12 PM. Wyvern! One of my favorite Beyblades. I'm super stoked about this one coming out. I might have your number this time, Mapper Gamer. I think my Wyvern might be a little bit too strong. I'm not getting any of these orbs this time round. It might come out, no guarantee. Luminor's coming for a strike. Oh, what? It didn't even let me use my avatar. Not cool. Alright, I'm gonna try and get the avatar in this time. Let's see if it'll let me. Let's see if it'll let me. Ah, I missed it. It's pretty much going to do nothing to you. Oh, it did do a little bit of damage, but barely anything. Let's go! Oh, 100%. Very nice. It looks like I won that one, though. Ha ha ha. Okay, guys, that I think is where I'll leave this stream. Thank you, Mapper Gamer, for the coins. I'll leave this stream here for now, and I will do another one later this afternoon. You'll probably get my notification about the stream. So if you want to have a chat and hang out, jump on then, and we can have a banter and do some more battles. Hello, man. Wyvern is so cool. Hope they make a Super King evolution for it since Wakia has been said to be in the anime. Okay, thanks. Thumbs up. And Zvi Longnose has too much metal. Yes. Okay, guys. Well, I'll see you guys around 5 o'clock for those who come back to join me for the live stream, and for the ones that will probably see then that weren't here now, I'll see you guys then. But until later today, guys, have a good one, stay safe, eat food, rest, and enjoy yourselves during this time. And as always, guys, until next time, KB out.